All right, so let's get caught up with some of the news. This is Jordan Tower with J18 News. All right, so 50 Cent still trolling Diddy, saying, I'm just going to go on the run. I need to do cardio. Diddy's after me. Okay, cool. Rick Ross is preparing for his car show that happens this weekend. He had some like meet and greet this week. I wonder if Vybz Kartel is going to go to the car show because he has a big show on Friday. Vybz Kartel has sold out the state, his farm arena, and then the next day is the Rick Ross car show. I wonder if he's going to go through. He wouldn't announce it though because it would be too many people. Vybz Kartel is like right now, as far as like if he's announcing he's going to be somewhere, he's not getting bombarded like like Michael Jackson or anything, but he is selling out shows, and he is, obviously, nobody's ever done it like him right now. Like, I'm not trying to take away from Sean Paul, or it's just like you haven't seen this in dance hall really with somebody that hasn't been signed to a huge major label. Like, Sean Paul wasn't a major label. Shaggy had a major push. He had affiliations with major labels, even though he was independent. Bob Marley for himself. I mean, obviously, that speaks for itself. But I'm just saying, you haven't seen this in. That's not dance hall though. But you haven't seen this. Buju Banton's selling out big arenas now too. But I don't think Vybz Kartel. I think he's bringing in a new, energy into dance hall that was kind of, it needed just a spark. It's always been okay, but it needed a spark up. That's what's happening right now. Then we got a lot of weird people at Rick Ross's event. To wear a suit like this says Versace all over it, that's weird. You got to be like Italian. Then we got Fabo also showed up and started dancing. Then we got Tony Busby reportedly chose not to represent Moriah Mills. That's the porn star that's going after Zion, saying he did this and that. Zion has a bunch of other cases against him. I'm sure he's not he doesn't handle things with grace. Probably just ends things, leaves girls angry. That's what it seems he does. That's not smart. You don't want to piss people off. I don't care who it is, not just girls, but anybody. You don't want to piss people off and have them angry with you, because now they just might want to take revenge on you. So that's what's going on with him. Tony Busby is not representing her, even though she made a whole statement saying this and that. And then Camron came out and was talking about, hey, this girl should be locked up. And he's like, he can't even please himself to her videos anymore because all the legal action she's taking. Jamie Foxx calls Diddy nasty amid federal trafficking trial. All that baby oil, why you so nasty? He was a hero for black people, he said. This is Camron talking about he violated Moriah Mills. Definitely did. And then at the Diddy trial, it was revealed by the CFO. Well, Garcia testified about the $100,000, and then they had the CFO of Bad Boy come in and talk about a $100,000 transfer. They're just linking everything together, that Diddy got that cash back through a money transfer from Bad Boy Entertainment to himself. The company's funding an enterprise. This will all probably come together next week in their closing statements. And all they got to do is prove a couple of those charges, and Diddy is done. And then Cardi B in her latest rant is talking about taking out Offset. She should show a little more grace, because as popular as she was, Offset is the one that wanted her, right? Offset helped turned her up, right? He turned her up. That was a big rollout for her album, that whole Offset thing. Doesn't give Offset the excuse to cheat on her, but there should be more grace in this and more privacy versus calling him out, this and this and this. You don't have to destroy him. There's a way to handle this where you're not just destroying each other publicly. And she's been the one kind of starting the public stuff of destroying him. Let's be fair, okay? Yeah, maybe he is a scumbag in relationships, right? But think about it. You guys have kids together too. So come on. This stuff doesn't go away. She's going to regret this. And he's going to regret it too, because eventually you guys are going to realize that, hey, you guys had something really good and you went away. Also, the public bashing never goes away. It's always good. Now this is a talking point forever. Forever. It's almost like Jody Breeze when he went at, yeah, this is a weird comparison, but remember when Jody Breeze went at Young Jeezy? He can't do an interview ever without talking about that. Yeah, what's up with that? Still mad at Young Jeezy? He can never do an interview not talking about that. It's a wrap. That's what sucks. If you get into a battle with somebody and the other person, like Jay-Z and Dame Dash, right? Jay-Z never get asked about Dame Dash because he's the victorious one. The person that went up against the other person and called out their BS, right? You're always going to be asked that question now. Look at Nas and Cormega. That's another example. You might not know who that is, but like any beef, Cormega's asked the question all the time. Nas has never asked the question about that because the person that is bigger never gets asked that question. So Cardi B will forever not get that question. Offset will always get this question. And it's unfortunate. That's just how things work. So it'll always be around. Gunplay talks about he's been on house arrest for the past 2 years. His wife, the woman he has a kid with, ex-wife now, she claims that he came home and was in a rage. And so I guess she wanted to get away from him, but also have custody of the kid. So she said he pointed a gun at us because, there's certain things you can say that will get someone away from you and will have you win things in court to have your custody of your kid, all this other stuff. So it's a dirty game. I don't know if he actually did it or not. I mean, who knows? But I know that it is a gray area. There's no footage of him doing it or anything. So it's really just accusations, and it's unfortunate. But he does have a history of drug abuse and everything. So this is why it's good to have cameras in your house and outside your house, just to tell a story, even if to win an argument. But anyways, this is Jordan Tower with JT News. I'll check you guys later. Peace.